The following presentation is brought to you by the Realm Network.
Here we are at the Build My Experience, and I'm by myself today. I'm going to give everybody a heads up right now. It's just me. There's no one that way. I lied. Over in the corner is my oldest daughter, Casey. And she's listening because she is the my moral compass, my politically correct tool. The dad, you can't say that shit out loud. And before I explain this show or what I want to do in this show, I'm gonna jump right in on this thing because she's looking at me and it aggravates me. And it's my own damn house, and I should be able to say what I want. So it's easy. So I'm going to look at her right there for a minute, and she's wearing my hat, a BD. She got me pissed off right now. You can hear her laughing. She's wearing one of my hats to try to, schmooze the old man. But I mean, how many dads out there? I talked to Vince about this a couple of weeks ago, and he's telling me about his daughter and giggle dick and all these things these kids say now, and they coming down with the hair. And I was telling him about how my kids, all of a sudden, I need a moral compass in your own house. Back in the day, and this is where I become irrelevant again because I feel like I might be the only guy on this show. See what I did there? I am the only guy on this show. So I can say back in the day, but you got 14-year-old kids going back in the day. You don't even know what the hell that means. Different conversation. So I can say back in the day, in your own house, you could say what you wanted, how you wanted, and who you wanted to say it to without someone correcting you. Now I'm almost 50 years old. And I got people like right now, besides my daughter watching this show, my wife is in the other room on the other side of the house, and she's listening for one slip up, one word that could set things off. And I get it because I am not the most politically correct guy. What a shock to everybody who's never met me before. Hi, I'm Bill DeMott. I'm not politically correct. I'm honest. I'm in your face. Hence the term right there in the bottom of the screen, face value. I'm going to segue into this show. I'm going to talk a lot about being politically correct in my own house, but my daughter, the college graduate, who in theory is smarter than me, but my street smarts and my life experience surpass her freaking piece of paper that I'm so proud of, but that makes her laugh, so I'm going to say that. So she's over there. Take your tooth out. You can't do it, right? That's what I do. That's what makes me build them up. So I'm going to start like this, and I'm looking down because this is the other thing that my daughter, she enjoys my humor in. And I gotta play this song, man, because Tom Cruise. I think I talked about Tom Cruise did this on Jimmy Fallon, and this is The Weeknd, and this is one guy. Tom Cruise did this on the lip sync with Jimmy Fallon, and I thought, and here it comes. I can't feel my, and I thought it was the funniest thing I ever saw. So all of a sudden, it got in my iTunes library, and there's some stuff on there. I'm relevant, Vince Russo. If you're listening, I'm relevant because I have The Weeknd on my iPod or iPhone. I have an iPod too. I still have a Walkman. I don't have a pocket big enough to put it in anymore at the gym. So this show is a real simple concept for me. And if it takes off and if you guys like it, I say all the time, I'm going to put it up on the screen. Send me a message on Twitter. Don't send me the message of, oh, you motherfucker, at the time. Send me a message on the show. If you like what's going on, if you like what we're doing, send me a message on Facebook. Follow all these things that are social media, and we're going to touch on that more times than I'd like to because it's made me very infamous. Not famous, it's made me infamous. That's the correct way to do it. I'm looking at my daughter again. For everybody going, who's he looking at? And I've been hitting the head a lot. So sometimes when I look off into the distance, there's really nothing going on. But this I'm going to call this segment of the Bill DeMott experience the face value. And if it goes well, we'll do this a couple times a month, or if I have something to say, we'll do this a couple times a week. It all depends on this show, this segment of my podcast depends on you guys. And to me, it's very simple. And I've been sitting thinking and watching a lot of stuff, and I'm trying to catch up now that I get to work out of home when I'm not traveling, doing the Bill DeMott experience on the YouTube channel. When I'm out, I just listen to music. But when I'm home, I listen to the news. I catch up on things. My kids catch me up on what's relevant and how the world really works. I don't know how I survived 50 years until my kids told me how the world works and how people suck. But I've been going around and telling people for years they suck. But now that they figured it out, it must be true. So we're gonna call this segment face value, because at every camp are people I've sat down and talked to in my office or at my house or on my phone, or, FaceTime or things. And I always tell people, if you take me at face value, I don't care what you think of me or what your preconceived notion is of me before you meet me, or what you think of me after we're done interacting. I tell everybody, if you take me at face value and take things exactly the way I say them, when I say them, there's no misunderstanding. So I thought this is the perfect segment for me to kind of catch up on, have some fun talking about the media, current events, what's going on in the world. And so I'm going to call it face value. And then there's sometimes, I'm not going to lie, sometimes I'm going to get on a soapbox, man. I'm going to tear into somebody's ass because I am opinionated about a lot of things. For those who know me and follow my career, wrestling, I'm very opinionated. And for the most part, if you're smart in this business, you keep your opinions to yourself in your house. And, I was telling everybody, scream in your pillow. But now this show's in my house, so I can scream here. So there will be occasions where I will, let loose. But the whole premise of this is face value. Take me at what I'm saying. Don't read into it. Don't listen to this on iTunes or listen to this podcast or somebody retweets something I said. If you hear it come out of my mouth, take it exactly the way I'm saying it. And there's some funny shit that comes out of my mouth. There's some funny stuff about the most serious subjects in the world. And if you just take it that way, instead of trying to turn it into he said, she said, blah, 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 blah. If I'm here by myself, then I can offend no one but me and the alligator head. The alligator head behind me. Elvis, he ain't never mad at me. And you people. The only one who might be mad is Miss Paula, because I have the Giants. The Giants thing. But those Knights, they haven't moved in years. They're not mad. So I told my daughter, sit in on this, listen to this nonsense, this dribble drabble, and I'm just going to catch up to a few things that struck me for the week. And like I said, this could be a weekly thing. It could be once a month. It could be twice a month. I want to hear from you guys on this. And I mean, I want to hear from you guys. I get to Twitter, send me a tweet. Anything that's said to me seriously, I'll take seriously. Same thing on Facebook. And we'll just go from here. So this is face value, first and foremost. And the thing, and I talk about this with Casey, and why I went on the thing about politically correct is we sat here the other night, we being my family, and it's far and few between as my kids are getting older that were on the house, and we caught this show. Chris Lee Knows Best. Take off a Father Knows Best. Father Knows Best. There's 3 people alive who remember that show. I'm one of them. But this guy, Todd Chrisley, has to be the funniest SOB on TV right now. And the worst part is that guy's so unpolitically correct and gets the biggest laughs. I'm crying listening, and I look over and they're all laughing, and they all think, oh, he's so funny. And I go, did you hear the shit he said? How come he's not politically incorrect? Well, he's on TV, Dad. I've been on TV almost 28 years. And all of a sudden, okay, but Chrisley's funny. Like Todd Chrisley, I know you're a fan of the Bill DeMott Experience. If not, someone smarten him up. If I get that guy on this podcast, I'll go 3 hours straight with that guy. He is a laugh riot. How I never ran into him when I was in Atlanta, well, I know how I never ran into him. We clearly don't run in the same circles, but he's a laugh riot. So Todd Chrisley's my man for this month, and we caught that show after the Tough Enough finale, and I sent out a few tweets, and one of the things I said was matches are so hard to do live, and the four finalists who went out there against Alicia Fox and Cesaro. I mean, first of all, no, I take nothing away from Alicia Fox. Let's just talk about Cesaro. Give him the money. Give him the 4-year contract or whatever it is. Whenever his other contract runs out and he needs some pocket money, give him the Tough Enough money. The guy's a freaking machine. He's forget it. Here's the things about Tough Enough, the finale that got me. I could not stand, and I think it was Amanda. I'm not calling her out. I'm just letting her know that there's some old timers around. And I swear to God, I thought she called Jericho brother. I thought she brothered him. I thought she dropped the, okay, brother, and I was out right from there. If she would have won, which she didn't, I was out. So Amanda or Mandy or whatever, however you're going to address yourself going forward, tweet, I got this iPad or whatever it's called. You tweet me and you say, Bill, what's the problem? You don't brother a veteran. Unless you're not telling us something we don't know, unless you've been around, but that's what you accused the other one of. So, you know what I'm saying? X-nay on the other Bray. I wasn't a fan of ZZ carrying a giant alligator on his head. I was waiting for that to drop off. I think Vader had the best headgear ever. ZZ should have watched it. ZZ, if you don't know who he is, Google him. Big Van Vader. Never held his stuff. That's all I got. Josh looked the part. There was no shocks for me. Josh looks the part. He's a big kid. He talks it. It'll be interesting to see if he walks it. It's a strong group. It's a strong group down there at the Performance Center in NXT, and the future of the main roster is strong. So he has a shot. I think they both have a shot, and I'm sure there's a couple of them from the show that'll be signed. But that's the proving ground. I'm actually representing today. I am a fan. So that's my thought. Give Cesaro the money. Who's still in charge? Teddy Long? Whoever's in charge, Teddy Long, or is Vicky back, or whoever's doing it. Someone give Cesaro a couple bucks, and he picked that kid up like he was a sack of potatoes, for the love of God. Picked them both up. So I got Chris in. That's what I got for Tough Enough. That's my wrestling rant. No, here's my wrestling rant. Face value. Kayfabe is in the Oxford Dictionary. Look at my face. Kayfabe is in the Oxford Dictionary. I'm gonna read it. Kayfabe is a noun. What is a noun, Casey? Person, place, or thing?
Person, place, thing, object.
Kayfabe is a noun. The fact or convention of presenting stage performances as genuine or authentic. I got notes, people. I'm prepared. These are the things I want to talk about. And effing kayfabe is in the dictionary, but I say fruit booty and it makes nothing. You can't say that? It has the same meaning as kayfabe, but it's nothing. It's like. But
you've been saying kayfabe for years. You got every.
I've been saying fruit booty for years. You did. Whatever. Kayfabe is in the dictionary. Wrestling changes the world. And that's a terrible segue, but I'm just going to bounce. Take me at face value, man. This is what I do on a daily basis. Where's my family? This is what I do. I think of things and I want to talk about it. And we talk about wrestling and the quick little story on that Zion. I think his name is Zion, the 8-year-old kid who had both hands. He had the transplants. And he lost both hands, both legs, and he had a kidney transplant by the time he was 2 years old, right around 2 years old. And now they transplanted, they gave him 2 hands. And what do they show him doing? Like, to me, that was the coolest thing ever. What do they show him doing? He's playing with a John Cena action figure. Don't tell me the business is dead. Don't tell me the business doesn't reach the world. I mean, Cena, and again, I'm winging it, right? You take everything at face value. Seeing it 500 wishes. The top athletes in the world have 100, and Cena's got 500. It's just amazing what the community does. So hats off to Cena, and I'm so happy for this little boy, and I hope he does so well with it. And okay, here it is. It's in the dictionary. Oh, it is. It's in the Urban Dictionary. What is the Urban Dictionary?
Yeah.
It's a what?
Not good.
The Urban Dictionary is not a good dictionary.
It tells you what it means, but it's not always good.
Oh, so this is not good.
I told you. You can't.
Whoa, what are all these words underneath that? What are all these words? And then I want to know why these are on someone's phone. Okay, I take it back. What my rendition of fruit booty is and what the Urban Dictionary say are two different things.
That's why I told you can't say
Shut up. If you're not on this show, shut up.
You told me to sit here. What
Shut
do you
up.
want me to
Take
do?
it. I said face value is the name of the show. Take the show at face value. The way I say is, you fruit booty. I don't look someone and go, may I talk to you, Mr. Fruit Booty? I don't do that. And that's what's wrong with the world. I'm not saying change the Urban Dictionary. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I should be able to walk into my friend's house that I grew up with and say the dumbest shit I could think of saying and not worry about his neighbor going, do you believe they talk like that? More importantly, I was saying in my own house, Stevie Ray, I know nobody remembers, Stevie Ray said it on the air, and he didn't say it in a derogatory, yeah, he did. Okay, I won't say that anymore. But this is where you learn. Don't say that anymore. But if Todd Chrisley said it, you'd think it's the funniest thing ever. Oh, I can't believe he got away with it. He would say it. All right, let's move on. Ashley Madison. Here's the big news. I'm going to break the news right now. Everybody sit down. I want everybody to tweet right now. Ashley Madison. I'm not on it. I don't even know what it is. This guy said, I'm driving to the gym with my wife, who's here now, and pulling up every word I say and telling me they're politically incorrect, and I get it. This guy said, whoever pulled the plug, whichever stooge, can I say stooge? Whatever stooge pulled the plug and leaked all that stuff, the guy said they had no right doing it and they ruined lives because what the wives don't know won't hurt them. They can't be mad about what they don't know about. And I don't know what was funnier, listening to this guy, because I think I'm funny. But this guy, whether he just got on the radio to say it or whatever, I don't know what was funnier, him saying it or looking over and seeing Mama's face going like all pissed. But that guy's an idiot. This Ashley Madison thing, thousands of people, politicians, electricians, beauticians, schlubs. Can I say schlubs? Schlubs is like he's a schlub. Man, this is going to be rough. This could be the first and only episode of Face Value for the love of Pete. So we go from Ashley Madison to Kurt Schilling. Kurt Schilling gets suspended for a tweet. Now we're in my wheelhouse. Now, because what he sent, I mean, the whole Third Reich, whatever it was, I think even if it didn't have a caption, the fact that he had Hitler on the tweet sets things off. And Kurt Schilling in the past has been vocal about political and his views on certain things. But my whole point is somebody's got to learn. Somebody has to smarten up the next generation of athletes, because it seems like the older guys, and I say this because as wrestlers or former wrestlers, we talked about, thank goodness there was no iPhones and all these camera phones and all this stuff, because things could have just been thrown way out of whack. Not justifying Kurt Schilling's thing at all. I have no skin in the game. I watched the ESPN and he gets suspended, and I go, what are you thinking in this day and age? Hey, all of you athletes, baseball, basketball, soccer, whatever's considered an athlete, like badminton is like an Olympic sport. So if you're a badminton Olympian or whatever it is, if you ride a kayak or if you shoot a gun and ski and whatever else they call them, or if you do the ice and the broom and the thing, they don't tweet. Don't put your ass on Instagram. Don't, hey, here's half a boob. All these things don't work. They make you famous for the wrong reasons. And there's not going to be another Kim Kardashian. There's not going to be all these people. You know what I mean? And everybody's looking for a reason to jump. So how a guy who should be in the Hall of Fame by now that isn't, is tweeting stupid shit. Come on the show. We'll talk about it. Like, you can vent to me. It's face value. It's face value with Bill DeMott. Tell me what you meant, but these people don't care. So you young cats, stop. Stop the tweeting, the Facebook. Don't get out there and bring your name for the wrong reason. That Ed Sheeran putting a giant lion, should have been a lemon. It was so bright. He's got a giant lion on his chest, and then he covers it up because he's doing it. Anyway, I mentioned Ed Sheeran because my daughter loves his music, and I think Kurt Schilling getting suspended was ridiculous. I'll tell you what wasn't ridiculous. I saw this video of this dad changing the baby's diaper. I'm going to quote my notes. Funny as shit, must see. Go to Jamie Morse, JAMIE MORSE / via YouTube. This guy was trying to change his baby, and that's all he did for 3 minutes. How come that's funny? People puking is funny. Todd Chrisley did the thing. They bit the French cheese. And I used to watch George Lopez. Are we allowed to talk about George Lopez, or is it politically incorrect? Donald Trump wouldn't want me to talk about George Lopez, but I'm talking. See, that's the part, right? That's where I go. Okay. But George Lopez, a grown man, he could take care of himself. But go to Jamie Morse at YouTube, MORSE. The guy's changing the baby's diaper. He looks like a man's man. He's got, I think he had a couple tattoos on him. And he looked like he had and the dirty baby's ass just brought it out in him. And he's got he did that the whole time. What else? I mean, what else can I talk about? I'm getting in trouble. Here's the good news. Let's talk about those 3 American heroes that stopped that guy over in France. And while everybody talked about the one cat was a National Guardsman, I think the cool part was these 3 guys grew up together, and the one guy said, well, if he's going, I'm going. And they could have gotten killed. One guy got slashed up pretty good. Another guy got taken to the hospital, another bystander. But these 3 guys are getting their due, and it just takes a lot of balls to do that. And you don't sit there and have 3 minutes to make a decision whether you're going to do that or not. And I thought that was so, of all the bad things you hear and the terrible thing, the shooting with that poor reporter and the cameraman this week in Virginia, and all the terrible things, you hear some good things that are going on. So you have to talk about it for a minute, and you have to take it at face value, because someone's going to come and rip that up in the upcoming weeks, and someone's going to say, well, if they did, they saved everybody's life. That's the end of it. Don't dig into their past. Don't dig into if they smoke cigars. Don't talk about the other things they do. You thank them and we move on. That's face value. Which leads me right to like, take this at face value. Michael Vick signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. To the rest of the world, there's nothing there. My wife said, "Whoa, Michael Vick signed to 1 year." So then you do your homework, which I do. And this should ruffle some feathers. And it's not taking it face value. The irony of Michael Vick playing with Ben Roethlisberger, Big Ben, however the name, Roethlisberger, Ross. I've met him. I like the guy. He's a quick Roethlisberger for Worcestershire. Ben Worcestershire sauce. The fact that Michael Vick, take this at face value. Michael Vick was incarcerated for dog laundering or what? Dog laundering, dog fighting. What's dog laundering? Is anybody? I'm telling you, if you don't like this show, you're dead. You got to be dead from the neck up because this is funny shit. Bill DeMott is on his podcast talking about dog laundering. What is that? Is that a thing? It's a thing now. Hashtag tweet me right now. Wait a minute. Let me find it. Tweet me when you watch this show. You tweet me hashtag dog laundering, and I'll know that the whole free world understands what I'm talking about. Dog fighting. Michael Vick was in. I was like, everybody should be going, "Wow, incarcerated, Bill. That's a good word." Instead, I got dog laundering. So I got a big word sometimes. And then if you listen to Brodus Clay or Tyrus or Big G, he'll tell you every once in a while you get a big word and then you move on. So incarcerated for dog fighting. And Big Ben is one of the biggest animal activists in the area. I mean, he's a big dog activist and all these things. And am I the only one who finds the irony in that? There's got to be people. I'm looking around, but I'm talking to like nothing because my daughter could give a shit about football. But Michael Vick and Big Ben, and Ben said, "Hey, if he can help the team, he can help the team." I'm calling. Well, that'd be interesting. So anyway, take it for what it is. This is what goes on here when I hear the news. When I hear the news and I see things, much like everybody else, I hear what I want to hear and I take it the way I want. But if you take it at face value, Michael Vick's a hell of a quarterback. Can he play the rest of the year? Will he do any good? Who knows? He has his moments. I just thought the underlying irony was dog laundering and PETA and not the bread. Because PETA, the animal people, is PETA. PETA. The bread is PITA. What does that have to do with anything? I have no idea. But it leads me to this. Burger King and McDonald's. Burger King and McDonald's. I'm 50 years old. There was McDonald's and there was Burger King. And now there's this one. I turn on the news and Burger King and McDonald's are talking about merging a hamburger. The burger. Merging the hamburger. When everybody knows for the past 100 years, if you take Burger King's burger, McDonald's fries, and Wendy's shake, that's a meal. What do you think the chances of any of those three companies sponsoring me now? I just told them it was great. But there's no way you can put Burger King and McDonald's together and get a hamburger. That's confusing. I'm telling you as a consumer, My 6-year-old won't know what to do if they combine hamburgers. Because I'm not going to 3 different places to eat now. Because it'll be, oh, we have to go for this, but it's named this of it. And then baseball practice is enough because right through the drive-thru. I want to speak to someone from Burger King and I want to speak to someone from McDonald's, and I want to get to the bottom of this right now. Because if you're going to put these two things together, I'm going to open a White Castle here in Orlando. That's where I'm out of, Orlando. White Castle for $5 on a good drunk night. $5 you ate and drank like a king. Back when you could say the things that sometimes I say. Now Burger King and McDonald's. What's next? Emerging Facebook page? Where do we go? I'm at a loss with this whole. That's like the Americans and the Russians going to space together. We do that though, so that doesn't help the. Don't do it, McDonald's and Burger King. I had something. I was another chain of food to bring in, but then I would get yelled at. So I'm not even going to go there for that sandwich anymore. Because don't laugh. She's laughing over there. So so this segment is face value, and I think it's funny because I'm just going to touch on a whole bunch of shit that doesn't matter to anybody but me. But it gives me time to vent. These things are on my mind all week long. I literally walk around this house when I'm not editing my YouTube show, or I'm not talking to other guests, or I'm not, planning what's ahead. These are the things that go on in my head, and sometimes they're going to be serious. Today clearly wasn't serious. Hopefully, coming up, I have a good friend of mine from back home in Paramus, New Jersey, and he's now the mayor. So I don't want to. If he's listening to this, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I will have you on the show because that's who talks politics. Politicians. You know who talk funny stuff? Funny guys who sit in their house with a giant alligator head behind them and a picture of Elvis. So if we've learned anything, I've never read the Urban Dictionary. Kayfabe is in the Oxford Dictionary. I want to know this, by the way, this is the biggest red cup in the history of the free world. I want to know, with a mouthful of ice, is Urban, Oxford, where the hell's Webster's dictionary? Where's the guy Webster? Alex Karras passed away years ago, but Webster is still around. I haven't seen a Webster. See, you have no idea what I'm talking about. This is what Vince Russo said. I'm irrelevant. Webster. Alex Karras was Webster's father on the show. Webster. So back to, I don't know where Webster's dictionary is. There must be an app for it. I got a new iPhone that's the size of an iPad. I have a Webster's dictionary right behind me. I know where I'm saying where nobody talks about Webster. I know I have one. I have a lot of things people don't have. I have a sense of humor. Half these some bitches listening to this heard one thing I said, and I'm allowed to say some bitches because it's not a bad thing. It's a sum. S-U-M, sum. You got to be able to relax, and if something's funny when it's said, you cannot just jump on people for it. I will explain myself to Pastor Byron, and I will tell him this is 28 years of sports entertainment. When you get in a room full of wrestlers, you cuss and you say things you don't say other than just to wrestlers, if that makes sense. And when you get around the guys that you've been around, you talk a certain way. I get to go, I visit Devon Dudley down at his school as often as I can, and we get to talk, and I tell those kids, what I'm saying to you, take it face value. I'm not coming at you. It's just my delivery, and you have to understand, if you understand me, then you understand the delivery. And that's what people need to know. And so that's what this show's either we're going to do this a lot or we're not going to do this at all. Because if it turns into a negative, I don't want to do it. like I said, we will touch on some serious stuff, and I'd love some feedback on face value, but take it at that. If it's meant to be funny, don't get me wrong. There's a line, and you don't push it, and you don't say things that you try not to be funny at the expense of others. But sometimes the stuff that comes out, you just have to touch on and just take it at face value. Back to Devon real quick before I call it a day here. This week, depending on when you watch it, seeing Bubba and Devon come down that ramp at Raw was amazing. Amazing, because I know, talking with Devon, how much he loves this business and how much it meant, because we started in Brooklyn, New York. We started Gleason's Gym. So for Devon, after all these years, to come down with Bubba and those boys come down the ramp in Brooklyn, and they're back on, and they're where they belong, in my opinion. That's why I get to say it like that. In my opinion, take it at face value. Bubba and Devon are where they belong. You could probably do a whole Hall of Fame this year of tag teams. The Freebirds must go into the Hall of Fame. Take it at face value. The New Age Outlaws can go in the Hall of Fame this year. Bubba and Devon can go in the Hall of Fame this year. Christian and Edge can go in the Hall of Fame this year as a team. There should be all tag teams this year. And that's just one guy's opinion. But like I said to Vince, I don't get a ballot, so I don't have a vote. So this is the Bill DeMott experience, and here's what I'm thinking. But Bubba and Devon, it was tremendous to see that happen. Devon and I tweeted, texted, whatever we did, and talked. And congratulations to him and to Bubba. And then congratulations to Bailey, the new NXT Women's Champion, the Vaudevillains, who I'm a huge fan of. They're probably so much more entertaining behind the scenes, and they're very entertaining on camera. Two of the funniest bitches. See how I said it? Don't look at me like that. I'll put you on camera. You graduate nothing. She's right there. I'm probably, if I could swing it without having to hear about it later, I'd just put her on camera. But those guys are just two funny guys that Simon Gotch is just a plethora of entertainment. So congratulations to everybody. And I talk about it, and I'll talk about it again. I'm very happy for them all. I represent. There's no hidden agenda. Take it at face value. To all the boys and all the girls on there working, keep it up. You're doing great. Nia Jax is making her debut, and all these things are happening for a lot of good people. Keep it up. Work hard. You see what Tough Enough does. They're bringing them in from all over the world, and somebody's gonna challenge you, and you have to rise to it. And again, you have to take your job at face value. Quit looking over your shoulder. Take it for what it is. But that's it. So props to those guys. Jericho did a great job. Billy Gunn, Lita, Booker T, always entertaining. Always keep it up. Don't call him brother. Did I mention that? Whatever you're, Amanda, if that's your name, please don't brother anybody. To everyone else, hey, all those kids in Tough Enough, if you're listening to this, come on the show. Let's talk wrestling. Let's talk shop. I love the camp I did. Mickey James and Nick Aldis are coming up. And either I'll have them here on face value, or we'll just have it on the regular podcast show. I hope everybody's enjoying the Miss Paula segment. She's getting too big for her britches already. She's got 1 million people following her and talking about the Cowboys. And we'll keep going about that. So this is face value. And like I said, take it at that. We're going to have a lot of fun with this stuff. And then we'll touch on some serious stuff. My whole thing is when it gets serious, it gets sticky. So I like to keep it light. And I'll ride this wave out in my house the rest of the night and explain to them that I'm an entertainer. You had to hear what I was talking to the guy at the bank about. The guy in the bank today said, "What is your business?" And I said, that I gave the name of my company, and I said, "This is what I do, and I have a podcast." And he goes, "Are you in adult entertainment?" And I looked at my wife, and I went, I didn't know if he was challenging me, like, am I a big kid? Am I gonna act like an adult? So I looked at her and I whispered to her, I'm like, is he porn? And she said yes. And I looked at him, I said, no, I'm Bill. Here's my card. Here's my card. Look, this is what I do. So I'm not sure if I was flattered that he thought I was in the business, or he thought I mean, I know a couple cats. I mean, they don't work for me or nothing like that. I didn't know what he meant. The guy said, you in adult entertainment. I said, yeah, I'm almost 50. I've been doing this 28 years. You're damn right I'm in adult entertainment. But he's a great guy. Got my checks all figured out, and I'm happy to say it. Hey, let me touch on this real quick. Right now, my family's going berserk. Let's do this. I'm going to put this up. This book's been out a while. If you go to crowbarpress.com, the guy's name is Scott Teal, and Scott's been around wrestling for years, and he covers all the what I consider respectably the old timers and the older generation. So I met Scott a bunch of years back, and I threw this book together, and he decided to help me out and finish it off with me, and it's still available on crowbarpress.com. The one of my new projects is I'm going to be putting that book to audio. I'm going to make it an audio book so you can listen to it on those long drives and enjoy it, because I'm working on book number 2. And book number 2 is the same thing as the Build My Experience, same thing as a podcast, just a guy telling you like it is. So the good news is Michael Vick has a job. Todd Chrisley's funny as hell. We're going to work with McDonald's and Burger King on building a better taco. All these things. Tough Enough is over. Cesaro's the man. I can't. Real quick. How about the 2? Like normally I'd say the 2 cats or the 2 chicks, and I don't mean chicks derogatory towards women, but you say 2 chicks. But these 2 women who just graduated and are Ranger certified, like Captain Kristen Greast, First Lieutenant Shay Haver, both are the first women to graduate from Army Ranger training. That's serious. Like, they graduated from West Point, and that in itself is, I think when I was a junior in high school, my dad wanted to send me to West Point. I don't think it was for the same reason that these girls went. I think he's just trying to put me in a military camp and make sure they would, but that's a whole different, if you talk to my father, he'll probably tell you the reason behind that. Either I was going to West Point or he was pointing west and trying to get me out of the house. But these 2 women graduated, they're Ranger certified. Here's the sticky thing, take it at face value. These women went through all of it, are Ranger certified. I'm gonna try not to open a can of worms. How they cannot go into combat with the Rangers? So part of me wants to say, why do it other than proving it to yourself, which is I'm looking at my daughter going, that's tremendous. I mean, that alone, there's my hat. It's off. You're it. I take those 2 women and listen to anything they have to tell me, because they're dangerous as hell. And I know there's a couple other women following behind them. And so my question is, I guess my serious question is, when does that stop? And what, other than the accolades, where do you go from there? Can they become, I'm interested to see if they can become Ranger, is it teachers, instructors or something? Can they put others through it as well? But just that, to me, that's of the week, amazing for 2 women to go through that. Ranger certified, combat ready. Listen, after this podcast, if I need 2 people to protect me, I have their names. I'm pretty sure. No, I can't outrun them because they just went through the thing. Well, I'm happy for them. I'd be interested to see where it goes for women as far as that goes. But Ranger certified. So there's another, there's good things happening all over the place. I'm tired of listening to the shootings and I'm never going to the movies again as long as I live. I'm going to get that box. The guy's got the box coming. Steve, my manager's got the box. I'm going to beep, and I'm never going to sit in my own living room because there's people. Take it at face value. There's people at the movie theater. I got a face for radio. So let's wrap this up. I don't know anything about the Urban Dictionary. I'm sure I'm going to get a lesson. I have a Webster's dictionary. Kayfabe is in the Oxford dictionary. I am not in the adult entertainment business, but I am an adult in the entertainment business. That's what this is for. You have to laugh. I got a room full of people laughing. Take me at face value. All the things you've read and Googled, I'm the funniest some bitch I know. Steve Austin says some bitch, and he's in Mexico shooting a reality series. I say some bitch, I'm sitting in Orlando hiding because somebody heard it. Take it at face value. I'm not on Ashley Madison. I know Dolly Madison. She made the cakes. That's what I'm into. Ashley Madison, I don't care. I ain't got nothing for you. The kid with the hands, tremendous. All these things, tremendous. Kayfabe in the dictionary throws me off a little bit. So this is face value. I'm going to wait. I'm going to hear back from you. Watch this. I'm telling you, watch this. Give me some feedback. The more feedback I get, the more I'm going to give you back. I'm going to have Scotty Tuhati on coming up. Go to the YouTube channel. Check out what I'm doing on the YouTube channel, the Build Them Out Experience. Follow my New York Giants. Here it is. Watch me go down the thing. Here I am on Twitter. Tweet me. I always say, tweet me and Miss Paula. Give us some questions about football. Let us entertain you. Instagram, always a funny picture of me at Starbucks or something like that. Am I allowed to say Starbucks? Can we say it? I mean, we're coffee. Facebook, democracy. I take back the F word. It's not bad coffee. It's not nice. The coffee's not nice. The F word is not nice and just frustrated. The coffee is great, Starbucks. The show's not Facebook. What's the show? The show's face value. I love Starbucks. I got the app. It's on my iPod. I got all my apps on my iPod. I got a thesaurus. I'm going to use it. I'm going to work it out. My regular shows are great and entertaining. Face value is going to be just like this. It's going to piss you off. Going to make you laugh. Todd Chrisley. Call me. This is face value. Once a month, twice a month, once a week. You guys make the call. Do what you say what you mean what you do. This is Bill DeMott. This is the Bill DeMott Experience. I'm Audi 5000.
Visit VinceRussoBrand.com to sign up for exclusive VIP content. For just $4.95 a month, you get over 20 new video shows monthly, including Vixens Who Rule, The Swerve, and Shoot to Thrill, where Vince Russo interviews stars in wrestling and beyond. Listen to Vince and Jeff Lane discuss weekly news and rumors and review current and Attitude-era Raws. Also, watch the cult hit Bucket Full of Chicken next. Go to VinceRussoBrand.com and click the red subscribe button to join now.